So boom, check this out. Hey, I haven't been making videos lately because uh my inner circle has kind of instructed me that it's time to step back a little bit because of the emotions or just things that's going on personally in my life. And that's one of the good things about having a close inner circle that pays attention to you is they can see like kinks in your armor or things that's going on that you may not recognize. And it's very important for you to pay attention to the people that you say that you know, love, and trust. So when they tell you something, you should probably listen. And whether you agree with it or not, they're more than likely telling you things for your best benefit. Look, dealing with losing a child to gun violence is extremely painful. And I'm not going to say it's more painful or less painful for a mother or a father, but I can tell you this. As the father, I believe that we have stronger emotions when it comes to this aspect of feeling like a failure. And we feel like a failure no matter what nobody say, no matter the situation. When you lose your child to the hands of someone else, especially in the streets that you call yourself growing up in, you feel like a failure because your number one job as a father is to provide and protect. And when you lose a child, you feel like that you wasn't able to protect them in that moment, and somehow you lost your seed. And logically, it may make sense to someone who hasn't lost a child to think that no, that's not how that goes. But mentally, when you lose a child to gun violence, and I've talked to several fathers up to this point, and we all feel the same. Like our job is to provide and protect. And when we lost our child, for whatever reason, we couldn't protect them in that moment, and it made us feel like a failure. Now, coming up to us and telling us something totally different really don't help the situation. That's an emotion that the father has to process on his own accord, and then come to the realization that that's not the case. And even after coming to the realization that that's not the case, it still happens to trickle in every now and again because we pride ourselves on protecting our children, period. And we know that an outsider, meaning someone who hasn't lost their child, means well. And so we try not to take offense, but we don't tell y'all how to feel. So we would appreciate if y'all don't try to force y'all opinions on us in this moment. Understand that mental health is, or just life in general, is very fragile. And no matter what you think in the moment, the person that's actually going through the experience has to have the time, the space, the grace to grow through that experience, however it works out for them. Now, it's one thing to have a civilized conversation with someone, but it's a totally different thing to kind of try to enforce your perception on them when it comes to the feeling of failure, the feeling of acceptance, the feeling of forgiving. These are personally three things that I battle with almost daily. Like it seems like to never fail. Like ever I begin to talk to someone new about the situation, forgiveness comes up, acceptance comes up, and if I disclose my journey in my healing process, they like to challenge that journey when it's not up for debate. So If you want to help someone that lost a child to gun violence, the best thing you can do is just be there in whatever capacity that they need you to be in, whether it's just a listening ear, a shoulder to cry on, or just sit in the room and just allow them to cry and feel protected. Stop judging men for their emotions. We have these emotions for a reason, and it's better to let us process these emotions the way we know how, instead of trying to force us to cover up these emotions and then we explode on someone who really don't deserve the wrath of that anger. We understand that the average individual that has not lost a child, they mean well. They actually trying to help. But the best way you can help someone who just lost their child to senseless gun violence is just to remain still, quiet, and just be there. Even if we start talking to you, we probably are just saying things in the moment that we just need to get out. That's another thing. When someone's expressing their emotions, let them. Because 9 times out of 10, it's just an emotion that they're trying to express in the moment. And unless something happens right then and there, whatever they're expressing is probably not going to happen. Because I know I've said some really crazy things in the midst of my pain that I really wouldn't do in real life. But people like to challenge what you say. And to a certain extent, I get it. But allowing someone to verbalize their thoughts 9 times out of 10 will prevent them from actually carrying out them thoughts that they were thinking. And try not to judge them in the moments of weakness. Be there as a pillar of strength for them in the moments of weakness, because that's what they really need. With that being said, I would like to say thank you to my inner circle for following me, watching my videos, and when they see me unraveling a little bit, they don't have a problem with calling me and letting me know, hey, look, bro, like, it's time for you to back away a little bit. One, you're slipping and you're saying things that you shouldn't be saying. And two, you're beginning to not look mentally well. So back away from the camera, get yourself together, and then continue when you feel better. And for that, I say thank you. I love you. Everybody have a blessed and stress-free day, because you definitely deserve it. Peace. If you see a parent, before I go, if you see a parent that has lost a child, especially to gun violence, in the city that they grew up in, understand this: their trust is broken. They no longer have faith in the city that they grew up in, and it's difficult for them to maneuver in that city. So don't try to force them. Don't judge them. Just meet them where they at and walk with them as they find out or figure out the new normal in their life. I love y'all. Peace.